Whale, your regular fix for movies and mayhem. This is episode 41 with this weekend's cinema reviews.
All right, guys, we're back on this glorious Monday. We're just saying before we started recording, Drew was just back from the cinema, and Sarah, his wife, was encouraging him to hurry up and come upstairs for Ragewell, which is very supportive and lovely.
Is that what you call it these days? You call it Ragewell? Mm-hmm. Can we start off with some bit of really important news? And it is, I'm not going to say it's plagiarism or copyright infringement, but a certain artist seems to have doubled down on the Ragewell at Glastonbury.
What?
Did anyone see the latest Banksy installation?
Idols. Yeah, it was at the Idols gig. It was. Yeah, they did the immigrants on the boat.
Yeah. Do you know what I thought instantly? Ragewell.
Yeah.
2009, sorry.
No way.
Did you not see that, Drew?
No, have you got like images or?
No, it was on the news. It's pretty. You can just Google it. It was basically a big inflatable boat with inflatable people in it going down as if they were like migrants or something.
Like with orange backpacks and stuff on, and it was a political statement. And it was on when the Idols were playing, because they're quite a political band.
Can we just say something about the Idols? Actually, their recent cover of the Stick song from Hey Dougie.
Haven't heard it.
You know that stick, sticky, stick. It's a Hey Dougie song. Idols have covered it. It's amazing.
Is it? Idols are like mixed. I've got one of their vinyls there, but some of the new stuff's not great, I didn't think. But it's like, they're a strange band anyway.
Did you see the guys dressed up as the Tories?
Oh yeah, carrying a coffin.
And it was like all the things they'd messed up. Like I think it was like hinting at like the economy. They're carrying the economy because it's like
perfect example why I don't go to music festivals anymore. I want to go to music festivals to enjoy music, not get like political bloody broadcasts. Leave it out. Enjoy the music.
I think it's quite fun, man. I think they've got a good sense of humor, and it actually, interestingly, it looked like Point Break, because you know when they're wearing like the dead presidents.
Yeah.
The masks.
This whole election's yawn. It's going to be based on who's got the funniest memes. That's the world we're living in.
Well, it's going to be Labour. It's pretty heavy on Labour at the moment.
It's just, the whole thing's embarrassing. This is the Stick song anyway, to bring things back to seriousness.
Stick! Stick!
Wait for it.
Yeah, I could get down to this.
Right, that's enough. Play the Idol version.
Won't we get pulled down for that though? Because I'm pretty sure no one cares about that. But
no one cares about us, so don't worry about it.
Okay, good point.
If we are Jason Bateman and Sean Hayes, there might be an issue, but
yeah, Idols rock out to Hey Dougie.
Go on, press play.
Stick! Stick!
Why on earth?
Yeah, that
sounds like dick, doesn't it?
Why on earth?
They were taking the mic on radio being like, it sounds just like dick.
Do you know what that reminds me real quick? Just off on a tangent. When I was an usher and I was doing front of house stuff, whenever we were giving out popcorn, just for a bit of fun, we used to just try and change it up, and I'd be like, cock porn, and like just say it like that, and then people would look and be like, what did he just say? And then I'd be like, popcorn, and then I just to get them nice and confused.
I just thought it was funny that band would like
make
do
us
that.
laugh as well.
Well, that's what the infamous Sex Pistols did. Their song "Pretty Vacant," the way they sing it is "pretty vacant."
Yeah, but can you not remember when The
it.
Darkness full on said the C word in one of their songs and they played it?
I can't remember that bit. No.
It was a song called "Get Your Hands Off My Woman, Mother
Get your hands
Effer."
off of my woman,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
And right at it ends, right and then it goes, "You can't," and they just played that on the radio
Wow.
Yeah, because it's disguised. It sounds like can't.
because
Yeah.
it's really long, but it's just loads of U's.
You're a can't.
You can't say that. What? No, I said you can't say that. You called me an even bigger one now.
I
By
was
the way,
actually
did anyone watch the England game yesterday?
I've not watched any football game. I
They
saw
did
that
in Italy,
highlight
mate.
of
Mate, they
goal.
did in Italy.
Do you know
No,
what Italy did? Italy did in Italy
were
and
fluffed.
and
Awful.
lost
No, but I meant what you know on the episode where
during
James,
Ragewell. Yeah.
where James lost his shit because he was like, I thought James injured himself or something. But Italy scored like in the last 50 seconds, and so did Bellingham for
Things
England.
though, for me, the Italy one was more exciting because it actually meant something. That goal, Bellingham's goal didn't mean anything. It just meant 0-0.
No,
they still had to go
but
and score.
or it kept England in because then it meant that we had another 15 minutes.
I thought it was good they went through. I thought it was a bit embarrassing they were dancing that at the end. It's like you barely beat a team that's like ranked 40th in the world. You shouldn't be out there dancing. You should be like, okay, cool, we've done a good job.
I feel like
Clap
we
the
watched
crowd.
different matches.
On to the next.
They weren't dancing. What do you mean?
Yeah, they were. The players were dancing around in front of the thing, hugging each other and that.
Yeah, but you're allowed to hug, man. You're excited.
Yeah,
you
but
just
they were like
scored for your
dancing around
country.
like that's like you beating up a child and celebrating it. It's like
Yeah.
No,
we should
no,
have.
it's not.
See what it
pummeled
means.
them.
They're celebrating as if they just won the World Cup and they basically just scrape through beating
Against a team that
below
has
average
no
team.
business beating us or even scoring against us.
Yeah, but they were big foulers, and like it was just being on a pitch with like 10 bullies, man. Like it was intense to
Well,
watch.
that's
like
football,
pretty
isn't it?
much.
Like, but I think
The
Gareth
Slovakian
Southgate
team.
should have been like, look, boys, if you do get a goal and win this, just go and clap the crowd. Don't go over the top with the celebrations.
I
Have a bit
think
of
each
dignity
one of
about
them
it.
had a yellow card
Like, you
in
should have walked this
the
game.
Slovakian team.
And then
They were
on to the
collecting them
next.
like it was Pokemon.
Because they got Switzerland next, and Switzerland look good at the moment.
Wait,
Switzerland beat Italy,
England
didn't
do
they?
not look good.
It was
Switzerland
Switzerland
beat
beat
Italy,
Italy,
yeah.
was it not?
Yeah,
what?
bearing in mind the
Sorry.
firepower England have got, we've scored 4 goals now at this tournament.
You say firepower though. We don't really have any of the attackers
Well,
anymore.
Harry
really.
Kane, one of the best strikers in the world. Jude Bellingham, one of the best players in the world. Phil Foden, a great goal scorer. Saka, great goal scorer. We got goal scorers all over the pitch who score tons for their clubs, but
But they haven't
we
done anything yet.
We cannot. We're struggling to score.
Yeah.
But let's forget about England. How are Scotland doing? How are my team doing?
Well, like I said the other day, the good news is that if you did buy the Scotland shirt, you
Yeah.
are within your 14-day refund
I
policy.
think that's the bit where it's like,
Shocking.
release the tumbleweeds. You know, it's
Sorry to interrupt the show. Just a reminder to say we love and appreciate you all for listening to the podcast, whether it's on Spotify, Apple, or Amazon. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, follow, as this really helps us continue to progress and improve the content and keeps us making these fun episodes for you guys. Oh, we're also on these things called Instagram and TikTok. You can follow us there too, as we share short, funny reels on the reg that you can share with friends if you like. Now, back to the mayhem.
I was actually going to say something almost serious before we deviated. I was going to say when I was mentioning about your wife Sarah being positive about you coming up to do this,
yeah.
and we're not getting anything out of it except enjoying ourselves, and maybe in the future something.
I'm
good
not
will
even getting
happen.
that.
I was going to say maybe she recognizes that it's good for our mental health and stuff like that without going deep.
Yeah, but
it's
that's so
important
true.
to have
Hanging out with friends and
hang out with friends. Yeah,
I think, no, but you're right. It gives me some kind of like, dare I say it, kind of direction. Do you know what I mean? It's definitely something to look forward to, but there's
It's a
also like
routine as well.
elements of research, like listening, collaborating with friends, like coming up with stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
it feels like you're not aimlessly popping to the cinema or watching a Netflix film. You're watching and going, "Oh, this would be interesting to mention. Oh, that would be interesting to mention."
Yeah,
Oh,
but I'm not
there's
even
a-
like doing that.
I wonder if
there's a
Dave has seen
to
this
it.
one or has Kev seen that one.
No, it's
well, I
not the
love
answer
films
with me.
anyway, but like you said, this gives me an excuse to go and see more of them. But then I get to talk about the things that I absolutely love with a couple of my really good friends. Do you know what I mean? And I can't think of anything better than that. Like that's
Yeah, I
a lot
like
of fun.
coming on to find out all the stuff that Drew didn't invite me to. And then I self-harm.
Yeah, but dude, you're a busy guy, man. Like,
No,
I
I'm
can't
not.
be at your beck and call, man. I don't know what's going on.
All
here.
right. Okay. So should we say for next week the one film to see in the cinema? I'm going to struggle. No, I will
Quiet
get there.
Place.
No. Well, you should, yes, but it's going to be Maxine.
No one see Long Legs.
Ooh.
Long Legs isn't out till the following week.
I'm really worried that they're
Twister.
overhyping that.
Mate,
Well, I
Twister.
listened to a review today from an American person saying I was worried they're overhyping Long Legs, and then they went, "It's as good as it." And I saw a new trailer for it in the cinema that I'd not seen before.
But saying it's the
I didn't
next
know it was Long
Silence of the
Legs.
Lambs. Ooh.
Yeah, I didn't know it was Long Legs for 30 seconds. It was like, what's this? Because it was new stuff, and I was like,
Did you
as
see
soon as
they came
clicked-
up with the title said Black Bear though at first, and I was like, this sounds amazing. This is
Yeah,
like the Black
the
Mirrors
production
thing, and I'm like, why is it called Black Bear? Unless that's the book, and then they've called it Long Legs.
Oh, I'll tell you what. What was it? That Kind of Kindness I watched was a Channel 4 production.
Brilliant. So who else was a Channel 4 production that was a load of shit this year?
Well, you thought it was, wasn't it the...
Give you a clue, old jizz on your chest.
Yeah, that one. I can't remember the name of it now.
Jessica
To be fair,
Chastain.
that film wasn't that bad. I just didn't think it was cinema worthy.
It wasn't for you. It wasn't a date movie, that's for sure.
No, it wasn't
But-
any movie. Channel 4 have some bangers.
Oh
they
wait,
also
let
have
me
some
just
misses.
apologize quickly to Jessica Chastain. Not that she'd ever listen to this, but that was a bad thing. That was a bad thing. Sorry.
What
No,
was
you just said jizz on chest, and I said Jessica Chastain, as in like Jessica Chest stain. But then anyway,
That's a good one. I missed that.
yeah.
I didn't hear that either.
Oh well.
I mean, it'll be obvious in the
You
recording.
get in the
when I listen
replay,
back.
but now it's awkward, like when someone explains a joke, but then it was actually genuine. Anyway,
Ding ding, word association of the week.
There's another jingle for you to make up, Drew.
Can you remember Harry Hill's TV burp when they do that TV highlight of the week? It'd be someone going, like, shutting a door or opening a cupboard. That'd be it.
I just started listening to Harry Hill's got a new podcast. He's only got
Has he?
like 8 episodes. I smashed all 8 episodes in the last 3 days. It's just ridiculous. He
TV
gets-
burp was one of the best comedies on TV.
Right, you know how he is, right? I thought it's only a 40-minute episode. It's called "Are We There Yet?" And it's just him pretending he's a kid and his mum's driving us somewhere and he's chatting to his friend. And then at the end, his mum goes, "We're there, Harry." And he goes, "Oh, that's the whole time we have for this." Anyway, you think it's just going to be a chat like every other podcast, but it's not. He does an introduction and then he talks about dolphins who do songs. And then he interviews like a famous celebrity / comedian for 10 minutes. And then he stops it and he goes, "We've got a special guest," and he brings on an expert in something. It's like medieval torture or bird watching, like stupid, like random things. He just brings them on, and the three of them chat about bird watching, and it's like, what the fuck am I listening to?
I
And then
should
he
Warren,
love-
formula.
Then he plays
I
a
was
random
watching.
game. He goes. Now it's time for guess the seed, and he's got a box of. You hear it rustling, and they pick out a seed and goes, "That's one of 8,000 seeds. Can you name the seed?" They have to guess what the
Pumpkin
seed is.
seeds.
I
And then-
watched a couple of TV burps the other day, and one of them
Yeah.
there was like a cow stood behind another cow, and he was like L-shaped cow spotted on Emmerdale. And there was another bit, and it was like Muslim driving school. He's like, just what we wanted, Muslim driving school. Let's see how they're getting on. It was like, oh yeah, so and so's really confident. They've got their test today. And he gets out this little bottle of Harry Hill gets out this little bottle of champagne. You know, pops the cork, and they're like, "And you failed." He's like, "Ah," ooh. Puts it back in. It's just like, ooh.
I think Harry Hill. Well, I don't think he's underrated because I think all comedians love him. He's like a
I
comedian.
think he's
comedian.
underrated.
But he's
TV Burp,
underrated
one of the
in
best comedies.
commercial. Yeah, in the commercial.
TV Burp was on the same sort of level as Shooting Stars.
Yeah, I loved it. I watched that all the time. It was so good. It's probably not that much. Probably only like 2 seasons of that.
There was quite a few, I think. It's where Matt Lucas came from.
No, not Shooting Stars.
Oh,
Harry Hill.
TV Burp, that was on for years.
I don't think there was that many though.
Can you remember what are the scores? George Dawes, he'd be like,
Yeah,
"Shut it, you tart, 5-3."
That was great.
Yeah,
With the dove from above and the crow from below.
I listened to a Bob Mortimer audiobook, and he was talking about like they literally had no plans except a couple of fights with frying pans occasionally or something. The
Oh,
rest
yeah.
of it was ad-libbed, and they literally got Eureka Johnson on because they needed an attractive woman. She was the big draw. It was like no one's going to watch it if we don't have an attractive woman on it. And they interviewed loads of them, and she was the only one that was funny and up for a laugh.
That's what we're doing wrong with Rage Whale. There's no sex appeal here, man.
We'll get some guests.
Yeah, I did. I was like, Iradu, Uvavu.
Iranu.
And they'd be like questions like, name a man. They'd be like, Chris, wrong, it's Paul. It's just like the dumbest questions.
Maybe we
Or
should
when
just
he'd
all right
sing, he'd
that
be
though.
like,
Maybe we should just have something called.
and then he'd be like, let's hear how it's meant to sing.
Maybe we should just have something called the world's stupidest quiz, and it's like there's no correct answer. Like it's all just absolute gobbledygook.
I don't. It was only done. Yeah, I mean, it's like like QI. QI is not the same sort of funny, but you can end an episode with the winner having minus 12 points because the loser got minus 200 because of all the wrong answers.
Taskmaster as well.
I love Taskmaster.
That is so funny.
Kev. Harry Hill's TV Burp ran from 2001 to 2012, had 11 series. It's rated 93% of people like this show.
Wow.
I didn't realise that.
It was on for nearly 12 years straight as well.
Well, there you go.
I must have watched them all, but I don't remember.
Oh, I'd love to go back. I might find it. Hopefully it's on BBC or something. Yeah, I might go back and watch that. It's got to be on YouTube somewhere, isn't it?
Saying about Taskmaster, my mate Chris, well, Chris, he suggested we go and play Taskmaster. They've got a show, as in not the real one you go and watch, but a pretend one, like a escape room or something. You pay to pretend to be on the show. Yeah. And it's a new thing. They just started advertising. You have to apply to be able to buy a ticket. So he got through, and he's able to buy like 10 tickets or something. Oh, wow. So a bunch of us are going in August to do Taskmaster. It's like 70 quid though. I was like,
that's not
Jesus.
a lot. It's not a lot of money. You pay more than that to go and see a gig.
It's actually 100 quid to get to London.
Half of that is throwing an axe, isn't it?
Well, us to get to London's like 30 quid. It's not that much.
Yeah, but you live close to it. I live 100 quid on it. I live 100 quid on petrol.
Well, it cost me that last time, but we got axe thrown.
Well, you can come on a day. It's only like an hour of the day, and then we're free, so we're all going to hang out and do stuff.
Drew will have a wicked job then. He'll pay for me to come. It's so nice.
I hope so.
Anyway, should we do a couple of film reviews? We won't have. I
was going to tell you what I watched this week for once.
Oh, go on. Well, James has watched a couple of things.
I
should make a different video. What has James watched this week?
Yeah, that's a whole separate section. What have you watched on Shudder this week?
Well, yeah, we'll do it every 3 weeks. That's when I watch films. No, I've actually gone back in time and watched a few good films I've never seen before.
Back to the Future.
But the first one is actually excellent. It's got Michael Sheen in it.
Oh.
And Samuel L. Jackson.
Shelter.
No, Samuel Jackson. And I don't know her name, the girl that played Trinity on The Matrix. Also the only other film I've ever seen her in.
Did you say Michael
that's
Sheen?
Carrie Ann Moss, man.
Yeah, Michael Sheen is the one who plays...
yeah, he's the Welsh actor.
The curly hair and scruffy beard.
What did you watch? Let me think.
Carrie Ann Moss is Trinity.
How old is it?
About 14 years.
Ooh.
Can't believe I've never seen it before. Brilliant film, though.
Is it with Samuel Jackson?
Yeah. And Matrix Lady.
Don't say Tron.
Carrie Ann Moss.
Samuel Jackson's not in Tron.
I know.
Kurt Russell.
Unthinkable.
Yeah.
Unthinkable.
Yeah.
Follows a black ops interrogator and an FBI agent who tried to press a suspect terrorist into divulging the location of 3 nuclear weapons set to detonate in the US.
It's basically all set in this interrogation room. Basically, he's like this no names under security bloke who accidentally gets like arrested by the FBI because his like transcripts or whatever get leaked or his files, and he ends up like kidnapping these. Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. Without giving it away and telling it, the ending is brilliant.
That poster looks lazy though.
Yeah, the poster's not what I remember.
This is the real one.
They've got a different one. Yeah, there's a few different. There's ones like that stuff, but different words in it.
Oh yeah, that's quite cool.
That's foreign.
It's brilliant. It's pretty brutal as well.
I've definitely
basically a lot of the film. He's like basically torturing Michael Sheen, and like he gets his like kids involved. And Michael Sheen's acting in that might be the best he's ever acted.
Well, he is critically acclaimed as one of the greatest actors Britain has produced.
I can tell you now, he hasn't acted a better performance than that. That's not possible.
Looks
I
like
need to check it
it's
out.
going a bit Clockwork Orange there.
Yeah, watch it. Honestly, he can't act any better than that. No way.
What was the other film you watched?
2 secs. I did start watching John Wick again, weirdly enough.
The first one.
Yeah. Nothing on Shudder though. But what was I watching it on? Sorry.
I literally just finished watching Kiss the Girls with Morgan
Are
Freeman.
you serious?
Yeah, literally. Just as you
I
came
start-
on, just before you came on, Drew go, the one where he shoots through the milk. I'm like, yep, literally watched that 10 seconds ago.
That's the one with Casanova, right? Where at the very beginning of the scene, he's walking that girl through the woods, being like, "Tell me you love me," and all that.
Yeah.
I genuinely started watching that 2 nights ago, and I turned it off to watch Along Came a Spider instead.
Isn't that the sequel? Oh, no, it's Long Kiss Goodnight. No, it is the sequel to that.
It is the kind of sequel. It's not set in the same universe, same person, but it doesn't follow on from the last film.
Yeah, it's the same
at all.
detective. It's different villains,
okay.
so to speak.
But yeah, I generally started watching that the other day, and I was like, I'm not really in the mood for it, so turned it off.
I think
And I actually
you-
watched.
I think
Look,
you were in the
proof.
room because I think I
Just
mentioned.
to show you, I'm not bullshitting. Look,
Oh, yeah.
The CGI though,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's exactly what
Hey.
my watch list looks like at the moment. Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Kiss the Girls.
yeah, I did watch a bit of the Proposal, but my main one I did actually watch and finish. You'll see there is Brightburn again.
Brightburn's amazing.
Yeah, that
That's like
superhero.
The Boys.
What's the
Brightburn.
chance that we both started watching Kiss the Girls? That's
Yeah.
such a random film, isn't it?
And The Proposal, by the way, is one of the best rom-coms ever. Full stop.
Yeah, it's so
Oh, it's
funny.
genius. Yeah,
Sandra
Yeah,
Bullock.
so I started watching that, and Crazy Stupid Love.
Ryan
There's a
Reynolds,
lot of
isn't
them like a sort of like you
Yeah.
know when you have someone in the background. That's why Brooklyn Nine-Nine's on there. That's what I like fall asleep to.
For comedy, it's very difficult to outdo Ryan Reynolds in his own film, but Sandra Bullock is fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah,
in that
she's
film.
top.
But yeah, that and Brightburn, absolutely. What
Well,
a
mate,
film! And every time I watch it, I see more nods to Superman.
Yeah, I mean, it is-
Brightburn reminds me of The Boys.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
one. It's probably heavily influenced from that whole series of Watchmen
Yeah.
and The Boys. I imagine The Boys was a cartoon or
Yeah,
comic
well, I think
before.
it is based on a cartoon.
But isn't it funny that I didn't clock at the end that there's an evil Flash as well?
well, also
Kevin Shed?
They show loads of news reports, don't it, at the end?
in
Of all these other,
Brightburn,
like-
did you not notice that Elizabeth Banks is the lady you don't like that went after Stephen?
Oh yeah, for
I
the
was going to say
£10.
Stephen Hawkins there. Stephen.
Oh yeah, she tried to be
Spielberg.
funny and it failed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Spielberg.
Also, to link the
how
two
embarrassing
films,
for her.
the two films you watched, James, Brightburn's got David Denham, which is Roy from The Office,
Yeah,
and
it's also got Matey Boy from the Office, Mose's cousin from the Office. His uncle is from the Office as well. He's Dwight's cousin.
and the other link is that in The Proposal, it's got Oscar, who is the stripper
Yeah.
and who works in the coffee shop or the cafe as well.
Did you not notice there's 2 people from the Office in Brightburn?
I can't see him on the lists.
So
There
James,
he
you know when you said that Boys is based on a comic?
Yeah,
Kevin shared Simon Pegg's actual, I think it was his Twitter page or something, where
Yeah.
he's talking about how much he loves the comics, and then he couldn't believe that he was actually offered the opportunity to.
no. Simon Pegg was written into the comic books, as in
Yeah, look.
the real. Oh yeah.
Remember, he's Dwight's mate, isn't he? He's
I
like
know
one of
what
the
you mean,
Shrinks
yeah.
maybe or something. Yeah.
But-
So I didn't realise until you just said that. Yeah, I knew
No,
Roy was in it, but
The Boys comic book,
Yeah,
they actually put Simon Pegg in it 10 years ago. As in, actual Simon Pegg is a drawing in
they're
the
saying he's
that's what I thought,
Oscar
with the
worthy
thing
in
going
his
into his
latest
neck.
performance.
What?
They've said he's Oscar worthy in his latest performance.
Well, yeah, he's like
On
been
The
asleep
Boys.
for 3 episodes, and then he's pulled off the best.
yeah, with the image go. Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, he was a joke. They put him in as a joke character, as playing
That's hilarious.
playing Simon Pegg, and then now he's in it.
like
And
a
that's-
muse almost, but
It's a cool superpower if he can harness it, because he's like can walk through walls and
Walls.
put his hands in things and then go solid, and then his hands in it, can't he? Because he vibrates
Oh,
and can
yeah.
move through things, and then he stops vibrating. He's locked in, so he then.
he could be quite a bad villain. He could break
Yeah.
into places and
Well,
steal
he
money.
technically is already. He's killed loads of people and didn't even know
Yeah,
it. You just
Yeah,
walks
yeah.
through a human and then goes solid, and they
Well,
blood up.
that's that's what makes it heartbreaking, though,
Yeah.
because it's like he's got this power that's unbelievable, and he doesn't know.
Well, he's forgetting things
What he's
already and
doing.
everything as well. So
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. Just read
And
the
the
reviews
dementia
of
part makes it
Brightburn.
dangerous. Yeah.
Brightburn's got really average ratings. I thought it was actually really good.
yeah, I
Brightburn's
don't think it hit
unbelievable.
hard when it first came out.
It did a terrible box office, like 30 million or something.
But guys,
But
it
like
went.
people didn't know what it was, did they?
Yeah, it went under the radar. I think Brightburn.
It
And it was almost straight to streaming.
again because it's got people like Elizabeth Banks and David Brett Denham. They're not big heavy
Wait,
hitters in the
Did
box.
it go straight to streaming?
I don't remember it being in the cinema, but it was a while
I
ago.
thought it was Netflix. I just watched it on Netflix. I'm pretty sure.
I think it's a fantastic film. And if they do like a series, like maybe add the little boy in it is a great little actor, isn't he?
Scary. He's amazing. Yeah.
When they kill his uncle and he picks him up and drops him in that truck and his jaw is just like hanging.
Oh yeah. God.
I just clicked
He's like
on
trying to
the
put it
guy.
on, isn't he?
He plays Scott Lang in Avengers Endgame, and Scott Lang isn't that Ant-Man, so he
That's
plays
Ant-Man,
Ant-Man
yeah.
as a kid.
Yeah. Didn't
So-
twig that in.
That's who he plays.
Ant-Man, R.I.P.
Right. Okay, so let's do a couple of cinema selection reviews now.
What did we watch this week? On Cinema Selection.
What do you want to talk about first, Drew? Day one, as it's fresh.
Yeah, it can
Still
do,
not
man.
seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Drew is literally back from the cinema half an hour ago.
Yeah, I know. I know that because my phone didn't ask me to go. So
So, Drew, what was your thoughts? Without giving away.
hope you choke on your nachos.
I didn't have nachos actually.
I did. I had nachos tonight. Haha.
Didn't cost them £9 either.
So it was interesting. I listened to a few reviews as well because I don't know why I do that sometimes just before I go to see things, but obviously I give it my own opinion. But I think you feel a bit more invested in the first two because of the family, and the family are trying to figure out a way how to stop these creatures, right? Whereas in the new one, it's obviously because it's day one, it's more about the outbreak and the kind of aftermath, but we're following two new people. So you have to create a new relationship with those characters, but they do a very good job to make you care about them both.
I'm glad
Especially,
you said they did a very good job because I was about to argue with you if you said they were rubbish.
no, God, no. The only thing the thing I'd say that I felt it was quite fragmented, this third one, right? Bearing in mind the first two, I feel have more of a kind of structure and an arc, whereas I feel like this one, especially for the first part, it was a load of ideas that they just had to keep cutting to black because they couldn't quite figure out a way to make it all link up. And then as
I
soon
didn't
as
think that. What are you on about?
no,
No, what are you on about? Cutting to black. It's just moving from scene to scene.
no, but it cuts to black in loads of little random ways. It just feels quite fragmented. It doesn't have a smooth.
Yeah, but I think
What-
that's the point.
if you
It's
want-
meant to be uncomfortable to watch. Like, I
Yeah,
think
no,
the first
no,
half
but
an hour was pure horror.
No, that's fine. No, and it's an absolute thrill ride. I was on the edge of my seat, and it's horrendous in places. Like it's like being on a roller coaster. Like it's brutal. But not only that, it's the emotion. It's probably the only one I've cried in. Do you know what I mean? Like I actually got quite emotional watching it. A lot during the kind of last kind of third act.
Yeah, the little magic trick, and obviously the very ending was touch emotional. So that was
Is
good.
it a happy ending?
I'm not going to tell you what the ending is.
Well,
Let's not discuss the ending.
it's
Or the Achilles heel, which is why we're not allowed to talk about.
no, of course.
That's
Well,
why the
but
plot was under
I
wraps.
like the idea. I was saying to Sarah on the way back, I like the idea that if neither one of them made certain choices, they couldn't have been there for each other. And I kind of love films like that. Whereas,
Yeah. Carry on.
go on, sorry. Whereas the other two films, it's more there. I feel like the other two films, the characters are moving the plot forward, whereas in the third one, the characters are having to survive based on the environment.
Right. So I know what you're saying, but I think the first two, they know what's happening. They understand the world they're in. They're trying
Yeah.
to survive and move to safer places. In
Yep.
this film, shit's gone over the place. No one knows what to do.
Yeah, it's chaos.
But the main character, which I've only recently found out how to pronounce, is Lupita Nyong'o, and
Yeah, Lupita,
she
yes, she's amazing.
has got terminal cancer. And
Yeah.
the first 10 seconds, Sadie almost spit out her drink, cracking up because it was so funny when she was like,
poem.
do the poem. She's like, this place is shit.
Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
smells of shit.
Yeah.
All this, it was so funny.
It's brilliant.
But the intro was really good when it was the like the aerial shot of New York, and it said New York has a constant noise level of 90 decibels.
Yeah.
The same equivalent of someone screaming constantly.
Yeah.
And you go, Jesus. And that's why when all the crowd started to evacuate and she went the opposite direction, even though they were going quietly, you could sense the volume picking up with the shuffling.
Oh, intense. Yeah,
the creatures started popping out of windows slowly. And you're like, oh, but it wasn't obvious. It was like in the corner. It just appeared. But
it was chaos. It was brutal, man. It was more I think we talked about this. It was more like Aliens in the sense that it was like action packed as opposed to more horror.
But it wasn't over the top. But it was still like subtle, and you didn't see them too much. It wasn't overkill, which would have annoyed me. There was you saw a few of them close up, but not constantly.
Yeah.
Like the bit in the water tunnel underground.
Oh
bit.
Jesus, that bit was amazing.
That was terrifying.
It's the sound effects though. The stomping. Yeah, the stomping's brilliant.
Yeah, but I think I listened to a review after I watched it. Because I like hearing things, but someone made a really funny comment. They go, A Quiet Place Day One is the exact same plot as Harold and Kumar Get Stoned. And you're like, what? He goes, it's a film about a woman trying to get the last pizza on Earth.
No ways.
And that's true, because she's going to die anyway. She's about to die.
No, I loved it. Yeah.
So I want my memory of my childhood and go get a pizza from where my dad bought me pizza when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Their relationship is gorgeous, by the way, as well. Those two, like, it's
Joseph Quinn,
chemistry.
From Stranger Things. He's just kind of a token, interesting person. But
mate, he is like the next Robert Downey Jr. Like, he looks exactly like Robert Downey Jr. in his younger days. It's crazy.
Well, they said they picked him because he looks and acts. He's got a vulnerability to him.
He's got wonderful vulnerability.
Yeah. Which is strange because when you think of him in Stranger Things, he's a
badass.
Not quite a bully, but he's like, tough guy.
Yeah, he's an absolute badass in that. One thing I would say though, like, you know, obviously it's hard because it's sci-fi and stuff, and it feels like when you pull things apart, like when Sarah and I were walking back and we were talking about it. So I said, you know the bit where the generators go.
Yeah.
And it makes an obscene noise, and her nurse character friend goes off to try and shut down the...
That's Alex Wolff from Hereditary.
Yeah, he's amazing in it. And also Oppenheimer as well.
Yeah.
And he shuts down the thing. So bearing in mind that that's a ridiculously loud noise that would have set off, like, you would have imagined 200 of those creatures there, but there's one hiding in the shadows like Batman. Whereas later on, they try to open a door, which is in the trailer, and a suitcase just flaps.
Goes, yeah.
And then there's about 50 of them.
You can't criticize that because you don't know how many are where. There could be 100 and one's in that neighborhood and 10's in the other neighborhood. It's just whatever's closest.
I don't know. They're drawn in by sound.
Some of them, they make a noise and they're there like that. Some of them make a noise and it's like 10, 20 seconds before you start hearing dun, 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 dun. So it's proximity.
Maybe.
They're
and then
in
the
Manhattan.
other thing was...
Manhattan's huge, man. You can't...
The other thing was...
That's
it was
a weak
like,
argument.
These things... It's either like their sat-nav didn't work, like they're coming down, right? They've got no mothership, right? They're not an intelligent species because they've clearly not come from a spaceship and they don't know how to swim or ride boats and stuff, right?
Dumbasses.
Yeah. So it's kind of like they've just been dropped like comets. They're just coming to... The thing is as well, it's not explained, like either they're... Like I was saying to Sarah,
we don't need it explained because we're in the dark. We're in the dark as well. That's the point.
And I get that because there's a bit where they're like eating pumpkins. So I don't know if they're vegetarian, but they just kill people because they're too noisy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because in the middle of in the third act, like they're opening up these things that I think Frodo the cat eats, and
Yeah,
then they open like a pumpkin
I
something,
don't
and
think
then
I
they
really
eat it.
paid that much attention to that bit. It's just a bit where they're found food.
Yeah, but they're eating something, right? Because you got to think, what are they living off? Like, because if they're killing humans, but they're not living off them, then it's like, do they just have beef with us because we're too loud?
Well, yeah, it's just how they hunt. It's not beef. It's how they source.
It's human.
Their whole face is a big ear.
No, I get that. I get that.
That's
But
how
it's
they
like,
hunt.
I'd understand if they
Well,
killed us to survive.
I've just realised that's an irony because this alien, this character, is pretty much identical to the Stranger Things character with the.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
that called
yeah.
again? How much Strange Things since like
Mate,
season
Stranger
2?
Things was a masterpiece.
Demogorgon.
That's it. Yeah.
Stranger Things 5 is out soon.
I can't
Yeah,
wait.
I
I
need
want
to
to see the
catch up with the
play
other
though,
ones.
guys. There's a play in London.
Yeah,
that
I know. I've
looks
seen it.
amazing.
Looks good.
Yeah,
It looks really, really good.
I will not be watching that.
But yeah, basically, here's the thing as well. When you create a plot that this is just me personally, like I think terminally ill characters is really difficult to watch. Like it's absolutely heart wrenching, and it almost dilutes its own ability to be rewatchable. Do you know what I mean? But maybe that's just me
Yeah,
personally.
I remember when Kenny died on South Park.
Because it's
time?
like
The one when he properly died.
Oh,
it's
has
like
he? Has he actually gone?
Yeah, they probably killed him off
Oh my god!
they killed Kenny for sure, for real.
years ago.
So wait. Sorry to deviate, but is it just them three in the thing?
I think
just
they brought him
can't-
back in the end because they had like Butters come in, didn't they?
Oh, they still got Timmy.
Oh, Timmy, he was amazing. That's unbelievable. But yeah, the first two I can rewatch over and over, and to play devil's advocate a little bit because I obviously know that you really loved Day One, and I really enjoyed it, and I was absolutely thrill ride.
I thought it was one of the best blockbuster cinema movie I've seen in a long time.
I agree, and I was mate.
By the way, I've got some hot stuff going on. I've got Carlisle United versus Scunthorpe.
No one cares. Not even Carlisle and Scunthorpe.
Look at this.
Care.
That's the Premier Manager 97 right there. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at the graphics.
Wow.
Look at the graphics.
James is keeping himself busy because he hasn't seen Day One.
That's true, and we're trying not to spoil anything. But I do think, and maybe I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin, but I think the intro to the second film is far more exciting than the intro to the first.
I'm
to
not.
the third
I'm
one.
not talking about comparison. So I got some things wrong last week because I said to James that John Krasinski wrote and directed it. I was wrong. So he didn't direct it. He's a producer on it. It's his story. It's his characters. But the actual director of this film, who directed Pig by Nicolas Cage,
Yes.
and not much else. So they must have had a lot of faith in the guy because he hasn't done much, and that's Michael Saranowski. And he actually wrote the screenplay for Day One. So it's got nothing to do with John Krasinski. Obviously, he created everything. The screenplay he wrote had to be within the perimeters of what they've already agreed.
Yeah.
But it's Michael Saranowski's film. He directed it, wrote it, technically.
He did a brilliant job, and there are some really heartfelt moments. I tell you one thing that really hit home to me was it's the small moments in life. So when they do like some little cutaways to like the chess set that's kind of empty, abandoned, and then you've got like the basketball in an abandoned courtyard, and it's like all these things of going, these beautiful moments in life that we actually take for granted. That it's not until a horrendous thing like this happens that you start to realize just how amazing life is, and all those little moments in between. Having a picnic with friends in a park, playing chess with a stranger, whatever it is, playing basketball with friends.
It was two films really. It was an action horror film, and it was a very small, independent, emotional drama mixed together.
Man, for sure. And I loved one of my favorite bits actually was when he's reciting some of her poetry during the storm. That was beautiful. They
did the screams and thunder and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was really powerful. Like they were on such a level.
I like the fact that Joseph Quinn is terrified. He's only hanging out with her because he's so scared to be alone,
Yeah,
and she's
yeah.
strong. But when he realizes he's got to help her and he's got to go and get her some medication from the
Yeah, it's a
pharmacy,
beautiful moment.
and shit goes wrong, and you're like,
Oh yeah.
but he's got the power to do that because he wants to help someone.
But the other thing I start to do now as well is I imagine, like, you know, like you have those quizzes and they show images of films and you have to guess them. It's like instantly now when you see the yellow jumper and Lupita's character and the cat, you instantly, it's so iconic. This
The
third
cat,
film.
I didn't think the cat would be in it quite as much.
Yeah,
It did really a good job.
that cat needs an Oscar, man. That cat needs an Oscar.
It's like the dog in Anatomy of a Fall.
Right.
Well, actually, the cat did better than the dog in this scenario. But we
Cats are better.
can't say the ending, but this is just for me and you without saying anything. But that yellow jumper, the very last scene with the photo,
Beautiful.
That hit me. I was like, gee,
Yeah,
okay, now it means something why they switched clothes. She didn't just do it for random sake. She wants that to live on type thing.
Yeah.
Because it means something to her.
Yeah.
Anyway, I doubt we can say much more without spoiling stuff. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought the sound design, though, can we just say, because I know that James talks about that a lot, the sound design was phenomenal. Because you know the bit where...
A couple of good
and I thought
tunes as well.
The continuity was beautiful, because you know there's a bit where he froze, and this is in the trailer anyway, he froze the brick into the car and the car alarm goes off. But then when they're underground in the tube station, you can still hear the car alarm going off. It's really nice.
The sound,
the subtleties are beautiful.
Because I saw it on the IMAX, and holy shit,
mental.
It's fucking loud. And then when it's quiet, it was like deathly silent.
Yeah, you're scared to, like, at one point I cracked open a can. Well, actually, no, I didn't. That's a lie. I cracked open a can before the film started, but I was thinking if you tried to do anything during it, you can imagine people going, shh.
Yeah,
it's so intense.
I was ready to be annoyed at anyone. I was so ready to go. It's called A Quiet Place. You know it's going to be. If anyone fucking speaks or rustles, I'm going to turn around and say something and curb it quick. I'm not having that going on for 2 hours.
Yeah, nip that shit in the bud. But I love the sound design of the... So you know when she goes to the shop, for example, the loudness. I love the contrast of how loud they made America. And then it cuts to like the smaller... But then, mate, as well, just real quick, I wonder where they got the puppeteer from, because that puppeteer was amazing.
I mean, it was it's a proper marionette person though, so it probably was
beautiful.
That probably wasn't fake. It was probably
that's
the
what
guy
I mean.
that works in that place.
But that idea with the balloon, and like it was almost like an analogy for like allow yourself to take off and go somewhere else, and then it's like you have a dream, and then maybe it bursts, and it's like actually you're back to reality now, and your feet hit the ground.
Back
and I just
to reality. There goes bada.
Yeah, and I kind of thought,
should we?
It's great.
Should we go into film number? We'll do film number 2, and then we'll leave. I'll talk about kindness in the next episode, only briefly because no one's seen it. But the second cinema selection, is it worth doing another be-do-do-do or?
I mean, we could carry on. I mean, it's up to you in the edit. I mean, it's up to you.
All right. So anyway, Bikeriders. We both saw that last week. You saw it last weekend, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I saw it Thursday. I definitely, from the films I watched a few this week. Day one was definitely the best one, the biggest blockbuster and fun. But the Bikeriders, it's such a character-driven. Nothing major happens. It's just totally engaging. And the director even joked about it as well, saying it's just men chatting for a long time.
Yeah.
But they burned down a bar. And that's about it. But I just thought...
Want it down.
Austin Butler is now, even though he was in June, which was huge, this is the film that is... and Elvis was huge. This is a film where he looks his best and is cementing him on the map. Like I think Elvis has made him.
Yeah.
June has the world going, yes, he is good. And then this film's gone, everyone's gone, yeah, he's the man.
He's very Jimmy Dean in this. He's very Jimmy Dean. You can imagine if this was made back in Jimmy Dean's time, James Dean, the kind of role that James Dean would play.
Well, it makes a comment to Marlon Brando's film. What was the film that Tom Hardy watches?
Was that On the Waterfront or?
No, that's a bloody cowboy film.
No, On the Waterfront isn't a cowboy film. That's Marlon Brando, On the Waterfront.
It's
Streetcar Named Desire.
I think you're right. I think that's the one. I'm trying to think what it's called. I think you're right.
No, it might be the one actually.
Oh yeah, on the waterfront as well. Yeah, it's not on the waterfront. The
I think it might
wild
be the one
So,
or Brave Ones or something. It's really funny though that Hardy's playing like a kind of Brando, or he's inspired by Brando, because people said when they saw him in The Warrior,
Yeah, the wild one. That's right.
the wild one, yeah,
From
In
1953.
in Warriors, people were saying that Tom Hardy gives a Brando type-esque performance. He has got that kind of charisma and that
Yeah.
vulnerability of he can switch. His characters are very almost five-dimensional, if that makes sense. You can imagine
That's it for
him
everyone
doing
that
other things.
hasn't seen it. That's kind of the plot of the Bike Riders. It's Tom Hardy is the only successful person in the whole gang because he's a truck driver. He earns money. He's got a wife. He's got kids. Everyone else is a bum, a drug
Yeah, they're just
addict,
dossing around. Yeah,
just idiots. And he's the only professional guy. But he's watching the Wild Ones. Is that what I just said?
yeah.
With Marlon Brando looking cool
Yep.
as anything, riding a motorbike, and he goes,
Yeah.
"I'm going to start a motorbike club." Because he
Yeah.
talks about bikes with his friends anyway. So they just make a club called the Vandals, and it spirals to the point where they get quite big and they're nice. They don't do anything wrong. They're just a
Yeah.
bunch of wrong-uns and unusual people hanging out together. And then when Benny, which is Austin Butler, gets beat up for not wanting to take off his colours.
Jacket.
I don't know why
yeah.
they call it colours. It's a denim jacket. There's no colours.
Yeah.
But he gets beat up, so they burn down the bar, and then they realize that the police, the fire brigade, everyone in the neighborhood is terrified of them. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is cool. We could get away with some more stuff." And then other gangs start wanting to join and start other clubs with their name in different areas. And then it
Yeah.
spirals because the new people think they're getting
Darker.
into a gang and violence and
Yeah.
escalate it further and further.
Well, especially when you see the young lad who's from the domesticated family and what he does to his dad, and you think if he gets those colors, like he's going to go dark side. He's going to turn into someone.
Well, he was already
not
bad
very
just
nice.
on like jacking a car and stuff like that when we first
Yeah.
met him and stuff.
Yeah, and then when those guys go through the road, they're inspired. He's like, I want to start a gang, and he's
Yeah.
inspired. But then it goes very
oh,
dark.
it's hot in here.
And Jodie Comer, I just thought was brilliant as well. Again, with the trailer,
amazing.
I thought they all had weird accents and it wouldn't work, but in the context of the film, perfection. That's James
I think-
blowing his nose directly down the mic.
I'd say that she, I think, has the most dialogue. She does so well with that film because it's
She's
pretty
narrated
much all
half of it.
hanging on her.
Yeah.
Because the guys don't really speak all that much, and her journey's pretty dark as well. Because especially the shit that goes down in that party scene, it's like it's a real kind of
That's horrible.
changing.
I mean, I didn't want to see more. I didn't want to see her get attacked
Oh,
or anything,
God.
but
No,
I do wish there was more action, there was more violence, because the violence was like a fight. A burn
Yeah,
down
I
the
see
bar,
why-
but burning down the bar was no jeopardy because everyone just walked away and let them do it. There
On
wasn't.
the
Yeah.
subject of what you just said, can I bring up a film I wish I never watched?
go on.
Irreversible.
Well,
Yeah, that's
we're not
brutal.
going down that.
You can't unsee that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't
That's
irreverse.
just unnecessary, isn't it? It's not like it's not even a good film.
It is a
It's
good
just
film, but it's our.
It is
The
great.
logic of it, the idea is good, but the way it's done is just
I mean,
is
it's
too
ferocious.
much.
I mean, the opening scene.
You basically annihilated 95% of your audience.
Well, the opening
it's clever
scene will
because-
stop people watching it before
But
we
it-
even get to the most famous
Yeah.
rape scene
But
ever.
the irony is, it's a happy ending, which is so fucked up because
No, it's
obviously it's
not.
going in
Yeah,
reverse.
it is a
Yes,
happy
it is.
ending because the beginning is happy.
She's
and then
pregnant and
things
she's
go
in the
bad,
park
and it's
and
filmed
she looks up at the
backwards.
sun.
Yeah, so the beginning she's happy. Well,
Yeah.
no, it's irreversible.
No,
and the end is the end.
No.
Yep,
the
but
end is
the
the
way it's
beginning
done-
because it's
Yeah, all the bad stuff happens at the beginning,
correct.
and at the end.
Because
Yes.
right, James, in chronological order, everything's
Oh wait, no, it
bad-
doesn't finish with him getting arrested,
bad
does it?
things go bad, and then it goes to extreme badness. In the chronological of the film, the bad stuff, the bad happens at the beginning, and then it gets lighter and lighter towards the end.
Yeah, but that's going back in time, not forward in time.
No, of
Correct.
course we know that.
That's what I
but-
mean.
Yeah, so it's a bad ending.
It's a bad ending for the world of the people, but it's a positive
Chronologically.
ending in the chronological way of the film because it's backwards. It ends at the beginning where everyone was fine. before the
But
bad
she
stuff
doesn't come out of
happens.
that coma, does she? And he doesn't come out of prison. Wait, surely no. That's film. It's filmed backwards. It starts off there happy.
I just told you that.
No, it doesn't.
It
No, it
starts
doesn't.
off- no.
It ends there happy.
Yeah.
But that means they're at the end of the real thing. They're not,
Well, of course.
because it's flipped.
Yeah.
So it ends bad. He goes
why
to
it's called
prison for killing the
irreversible.
wrong
The
person.
very ending is that gay club where you see horrible, disgusting
Guy gets his
things,
arm
and someone
broken.
smashes a guy's
Fire
face in
extinguisher.
Yeah, he kills the wrong person, doesn't
with a
he?
fire
That's the whole twist
extinguisher.
of the whole thing. He kills the wrong guy.
I can't remember, but I know he kills
Yeah,
someone with a fire
he does
extinguisher.
that. But and then the actual guy, whatever he's called, is in
Runs
the
away.
background watching.
Yeah,
he
he
kills
runs
the
away.
wrong bloke.
It's brutal.
Well, let's finish off Bike Riders. Just a few more minutes on that, then we'll move on. I didn't realise until the film started that Mike Feist from Challengers was in it. He was the photographer
Oh wow.
with the terrible
Yeah.
beard.
Yeah,
the
he was
guy-
great.
The
Yeah.
main guy from the Challengers.
Yeah, he was good in that.
But I did like the fact you got Michael Shannon and people like that in it. There was
Oh man, how good is his monologue?
every character was great, and they all had they had great monologues, had great speeches, great
Yeah.
interactions.
Oh.
I saw behind the scenes of Austin Butler having that fight, when they had the
Yeah.
picnic, and
Yeah.
he just jumps in and punches a guy without
Yeah.
provocation, and
Yeah.
ends up throwing him into the car and stuff.
Yeah.
Austin Butler, for real, gets thrown against the car with two guys holding him, and he overpowers
Yeah.
both of them. And then he turns around and goes to the director. "Oh, I'm sorry, there's a dent in the car." And he goes, "It's all right, Austin. There's meant to be." And he's like, "Oh, good."
Nice.
He's so polite and lovely in
Yeah,
real life.
he is. He's awesome.
But yeah, it was quality.
That reminds me, one of the characters, I think, is he called Cockroach or something?
Yes, Cockroach, who eats cockroaches.
Yeah, and mate, he is from Place Beyond the Pines. He is
Emery
he
Cohen.
is he is Bradley Cooper's son
Oh,
in
that's
Place Beyond the
AJ.
Pines. Yes.
I would not have known that. He looks different.
Yeah,
he
dude.
looks older and a bit chunkier.
Yeah, and he's got those massive kind of like meat chops, sideburns. But yeah, I thought it's an interesting film. Like, I think if you love dialogue and it's kind of a bit art housey, like the way it's shot is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I see why they make it.
Great
They
music
say
as
it's like a
well.
kind of Scorsese-esque in the sense of the narrative.
I do not get when people said it was Goodfellas on motorbikes. I'm like,
No, I
it's
do
not.
because of the voiceover narrative. Because when she's like, "Well, it was like the other day,"
Yeah,
you know?
and stylization to a degree, but it's nothing.
and that's
It's
exactly-
nothing like it. There's not enough crime
I
going
know,
on. It's
But if you put two of the scenes together, the bit where Ray Liotta beats up the guy across the road and hands the gun over to her,
yeah.
if you had that scene playing with Jodie Comer saying, he took my breath away, like, it is very similar to the Goodfellas in that sense.
Yeah, that scene was brilliant. Like, Sadie likes Austin Butler, and we were in the cinema watching it, and it was literally Jodie Comer walks into a bar. I walked into a bar because someone was going to give me a job, and I walked in, and there's all these guys around. They look disgusting. They're half naked and they're horrible. And she sits down, and every single man propositions her within 10 seconds.
Yes.
And then Tom Hardy walks over, cool as fuck, and goes, "Don't worry, you'll be all right." And then she goes, "I was going to leave. I didn't like that place."
Yeah.
And I walked out, and I turned around, and then I saw him. He took my breath away. And it's just
Yeah.
Austin Butler leaning over a pool table, looking
with
muscular,
tattoos,
handsome.
and he looked
he
looked cool.
And when Jodie Comer literally went, "Oh," Sadie went, "Oh." She was like, "Oh," as well. I was like,
Yeah.
"All right, I'm never going to quite look like Austin Butler, I'm afraid."
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Get the wet
Yeah.
floor signs out.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a very charismatic
But
dude.
when you see him
And
when
it
he's
helps
hurt
with
his
the
leg,
character
when,
too.
when he's in bed and he's wearing his
Ooh.
vest, I think Austin Butler looks scrawny as fuck. He only looks big because
the way they shot it.
he's got his big jacket and stuff on. But when you saw him in
Yeah.
bed, he's scrawny with a massive head and massive hair, but he's got a tiny little
Yeah.
body.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
No
He
offense,
hasn't put-
Austin.
he's not built like Hardy.
Haters
is he?
gonna hate.
He's-
Hate.
He's skinny ripped. He's not like bulky or
One
muscular.
of my favorite moments in the film, though, which they keep, well, they refer back to it a couple of times, where he says, when he goes, "Fists or knives?"
Yeah.
When it's like when he's trying to like sort stuff out with the gang, and it's like got that kind of cool.
But that first fight was good. When he was like, "Fists?" He's like, "All right."
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
And
The
he goes,
way- I love it because he goes fists. I don't want to. I don't want to hurt the guy, you know. And it's like they just want to kind of just battle it out a little bit.
yeah, we won't
And
say
then it
how the
has more
second
weight.
fight happens or ends.
Yeah, but that's why it has more weight when that nasty lad says knives. And you're like, oh, he's trouble, man. He is absolute trouble.
Yeah.
But I thought
no
someone
honor.
was saying someone was saying,
fisticuffs at dawn or nothing.
yeah,
I
someone
don't
was saying in an
I'm not going
interview
to fight
though.
anyone with a knife. If someone pulls a knife on me, I'm cracking
running.
them in the jaw quick.
Get out of there, yeah.
No, I'm hitting them hard quick.
Of course, if they bring a knife to a gunfight.
I've practiced a knife attack in my head.
I've got Big Bertha right here.
If I get stabbed like a sneaky,
that's
you can't do anything about it. But if someone pulls a knife and points it at me, I'm just gonna. Well, I say this, it's talking bullshit. Anyone listening to this goes, "Yeah, right, you're dead, mate." If you don't run, you're dead. But in my head, I've practiced it a million times.
In my head,
it's getting a crack to the jaw. He's getting dropped instantly, and I'm taking the knife off him. And if he fights, I'm stamping on his face because that's attempted murder. So I'm allowed to do whatever I want. It's carte blanche on that one.
I'll give him a Chinese burn.
What's that line in Bruges where it's like, when he's like, that's a weapon though. That's a deadly weapon, man. Do you know what I mean? That's a fucking deadly weapon. You know what they're talking about with the lollipop? When he says about, I'm just jumping across to In Bruges because of what you said. Where he says, I'm taking the guy down. That's a fucking weapon, man. You know, when he pulls out, he says...
No, the best one is when, in The Simpsons, when he's like, you call that a knife? He's like, no, it's a spoon. Huh? I see you played knifey spoony before then.
Yeah.
But,
I meant the lollipop. He says, why is the fucking lollipop man got a fucking bottle or something? He said, karate. He fucking knows karate. Do you know In Bruges, the bit I was talking about?
I haven't seen that in years.
Fucking doing knowing karate.
You remember so many. I have to watch a film recently to talk about it, unless it's something like,
I watched that once at Kev's. I remember Colin Farrell punching a midget.
Yeah. If I've seen a film recently, I know everything about it. But if I haven't,
it's a gift and a curse because, like, my brain that should keep sweet memories of moments in my life, and it just erases that and just keeps like a film.
You can't remember your wedding, but you've got Colin Farrell quotes for days.
Well, that's probably not. Yeah, that makes me look quite bad.
I remember you were wearing a white dress. Was it white?
Has your whiff ever watched one of these episodes?
I do, and then I said I do.
Oh, Drew, has your whiff ever watched one?
That's the same question, but different to mine.
Sometimes my whiff does watch. Well,
simple yes or no question.
Well, no, I said, does she listen?
Don't be a politician.
I said, does she listen? Difference is listening and watching. What has she done? That's a whole.
Does she watch it?
I think she's done column A and column B.
Think. Don't be a politician.
Because listening and watching is very different.
Yeah, look, I'm not diverting the truth. I'm not being a politician. I'm saying she's done both.
Well, let's finish the cinema selection bit. But so, how many whales are you giving day one?
Ooh,
that's stars for people who don't know.
4.5.
4.
We need to up it to 10. You can't just do a 5-star because everything's going to get 4.5. Go up to 10.
Nah, 5-star.
Okay.
No, because
10-star.
4.5's 9. So it's the same. Don't worry about it. We can do maths.
Yeah.
It's really getting a 9-star.
Yeah.
So it's almost perfect.
I'm giving it 5 stars.
Yeah, I knew. See.
So it's a perfect. There's not a better film out there than that.
No, you don't understand what ratings
that's not how it
mean.
works.
We're not comparing it to others. I'm just saying how much was my enjoyment from 1 to 5.
Oh, for me, a star rating is like 10. There's very few
no,
10s.
let's go interesting.
No, for a blockbuster film in the cinema, this was a perfect blockbuster. There was not any point that I did not enjoy.
I look at like 10 is 10. Then you can maybe get a 9.
We'll do our
10 would be the best ever.
You can do your whales to 10.
You can do your whale after you watched it. But why don't we take these whales further? Or do you want to do like how many whales would you give for the story?
Ooh.
Well, since it's already an established story, it's all good. And the Achilles heel was good. The way it played out was good. The individual personalities and their individual stories was different to the other ones, but still engaging. Fuck it, 5.
Unit 5 whales.
Is it better than June 2?
Different.
It's definitely more entertaining than June 2. It's a lot faster.
Good.
I don't know if I go that far. Just different.
I'm sort of thinking Furiosa for entertainment is up there for one of the best films in recent memory.
Furiosa, I gave 4 out of 5 whales.
So
How many
much
whales
fun.
did you give Furiosa, James?
4.5 I gave.
I'd give it 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
That's
That's
many would you give
pure
you-
entertainment.
that's
If I went down to like story,
That's
it would be
4.25 whales.
it would be
GMP?
probably like a 7 on story, 7.5 on acting, because Chris Hemsworth's a bit ropey in it.
What?
Yeah,
He's a
8 on,
caricature, and he is.
yeah.
But that.
It would be 8.5 on
Yeah,
entertainment.
but relevant to the film, it was perfect.
Yeah, it works for
but I'm
continuity
saying like
of the
what
film.
ways
Yeah.
all of them balance out to
Yeah, we're not
like
gonna
everything,
say-
excitement.
If you gave him
8.5.
the full 5 stars, I'm not. We're not saying he should deserve an Oscar. It just means he fitted perfectly into that world.
8.5.
Yeah, like believable, right?
Yeah.
Like as in, yeah.
8.5. June, 7.8.
Because here's the thing, right? This is a massive jump, and I'm going to talk about one of my favorite films, but Seven, right? There was a guy interviewing Kevin
9.2.
Spacey, and they said, you play a serial killer, like, brilliantly. Like, frighteningly brilliantly.
It's because he's used to touching people inappropriately. Also found not guilty, so
Well, anyway, I'm talking
Sorry,
about
Kevin.
in
And he's
like
broke.
what Kevin said in regards to the film, how well did they encompass the character?
I would say 7 is an easy 9.5.
7.
Yeah, it's
7's a
phenomenal.
5 out of 5.
Yeah,
9.5.
Getting confusing for people that you're doing it in 10s, and I'm sticking to.
That's because it's a better gradient.
I'm sticking
Just
to
say
5.
everything's a 5 to you. Like everything the same.
sticking
It's
to
like,
but
5.
everything is a 5 though, because if you think of like if anybody was kind enough to rate Rage Whale, it's done in 5s. If anyone rates something on Audible, it's done in 5s.
So
Yeah.
Drew.
10's a better metric. Gives you more room for.
So for me and you
grades.
that's actually seen the film, what are you saying for day 1? I forgot what you said.
I say 4.5 for
All right, I'm going 5. Bike Riders.
ooh. I'd say 4 Wales.
I've gone 4.5 because I wanted a bit more. I did want a bit
Yeah,
more action. Something was missing,
I-
but it was still. almost
Here's the thing though,
perfect.
would you watch it again?
Yeah,
I'm having a Toblerone.
You would I
Yeah.
might watch it again. I
like
was
that
really
stuff.
hoping
I just like watching actors be good actors, irrelevant of what
me
they're doing.
too. Me too, man.
Although
me too.
next Thursday I'll mention Kinds of Kindness, and I will say the absolute opposite.
Wow. I watched Lawless after coming back from watching
Good movie.
yeah, after watching
Bike Riders.
Bike Riders. Yeah, because
That's a Tom
that's
Hardy
my whole
gangster
point.
one, isn't it?
Yeah, I love watching Tom Hardy transform in certain characters. I mean, I could watch Tom Hardy for days.
He is the next Christian Bale for me.
Yeah.
Because he can do everything. He can do comedy as well.
Yeah.
Because he's done that comedy with Reese Witherspoon and
Chris Pine.
can't think of
I mean,
Chris Pine, yeah. And he's
that's
genuinely
old.
funny in it.
That's all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's funny. But it was after he'd done all the big ones.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
He's quite funny.
Can we just say, like, I think he was
And he's quite funny in Venom.
massively underrated for Legend, where he plays the two Cray brothers. That is insane performance.
I think he was given his fair due for that because he was absolutely fantastic.
That was cool.
No, but I'm saying it wasn't recognized by the board or whatever the fuck.
It should have been bigger than it was.
That's what I'm saying.
It was a brilliant movie.
I do like.
But saying that,
when he comes-
the Kemps also did a great movie
When-
of the Craze.
When he,
Yeah,
when
no,
he comes
yeah.
into the bar and he's like, "What is this? What is this? I came for a good old fashioned
that-
shootout, and you bring
Yeah.
a rolling pin."
Yeah. Good bite
He's
me.
like, are you going to bake me a cake?
Yeah.
Why are you, Fanny Craddock?
Yeah.
Yes,
When you got a
Good bake-
rolling pin?
Yeah.
You do? Bake a cake? I'll come here for a shootout.
an old fashioned
Shootout.
shootout.
And he just leaves,
Like a
doesn't he? And he's
Western.
like,
Yeah.
don't worry about him, he's just disappointed.
Yeah.
He's like, you won't mind if I fight back.
Yeah, but then he says, what is it? He goes, I'll tell you a joke. And he says, a psychopathic something comes into a bar. And they're like, what? He's like, where's the punchline? Or the brilliant.
Brilliant movie. It's
That film
so
was
good.
brilliant.
It's also savage because they were really horrible
But
people.
Tom Hardy in there, he's got his knuckle duster, and then Bike Riders, when he goes to the knife fight,
Yeah.
he gets his knife out, and then the other hand glistens with a
Yeah.
knuckle duster.
Knuckle duster. It is a nice little link to that. But I was going to say, he really transforms as the two brothers. Like, you believe they're two completely different
Well,
people.
look at him in Bronson.
Oh, he's brilliant in Bronson, yeah. Yeah. Oh, no way. Lovely. Woo!
That is real. That is.
Yeah, that is... Mate,
Have
that...
you seen the Tom Hardy interview where he says how Charles Bronson like calls him?
What?
Charles Bronson like calls him from prison.
Is it?
You talk to him, he's like, "Oh, I've got you. That's brilliant. All that sort
It's
of
quite
stuff."
funny as a real person, isn't it?
Or Mickey Peterson as his real name.
Yeah,
is.
Michael something, yeah.
Michael
Yeah.
Peterson. Yeah.
They
His
took
artwork
me
went up
to the
for
funny
sale.
farm.
Oh yeah,
His
artwork
artwork went up for sale in Andover a couple of years
yeah,
ago.
it's rubbish. It's like a child's drawing, but it goes for thousands. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, very
Great
good,
film.
very
Great
good.
film.
Well, I'll leave the other short review till next week, and we've got loads of movie news next week. I'm trying to think if there's anything to. Does anyone mention
Well,
anything
hopefully
before we close?
England will still be in the tournament on the next episode, so I might be wearing a Switzerland shirt.
Oh, I've got some
Whoa.
good news. I've got some interesting
No, I
news.
won't really.
All right.
Well,
Anyone
should we save that for
anyone want to
Thursday?
say anything for the last few minutes before we go?
No,
Anything else to add from our reviews or anything?
no.
Smashing. Is anyone having a drinky poo this evening?
Yes.
A Doom Bar.
A Doombar. Ah. Oh, Westerns. You must
H. Wizzles.
you must have finished my Westerns by now, right?
About 6 months ago, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get myself a wee rum and coke.
Lovely, lovely.
rum and
A wee rum and coke.
As in a little rum and coke, you're going for a wee, getting a rum
I'm
and
going
coke.
for a wee and a wee rum and coke. I don't even know what
You
accent
sound
I'm
like
doing.
Martha from You sound like Martha from Baby Reindeer.
I love that you're Scottish, but you're doing a bad Scottish accent.
I can do a good one, but I can't be arsed, you know. I can't do a good one.
No, you can't. No.
Yeah.
I remember being able to...
You sound like Martha from Baby Reindeer.
Hello.
Right, by the
How
way,
are
if
you doing?
Kev comes into anyone's pub and asks for a free Diet Coke, just say no.
Oh, can I have a wee drink? Oh, I've got no money on me.
He definitely doesn't need his curtains
Dangerous.
put up either.
Dangerous.
Oh, can you put on my curtains? My beef curtains. Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh God. That's a good place to. That's a good place to end on.
If anyone wants to not be sick, tune in on Thursday for...
This has been Rage Whale. Thanks for listening to Your Movie Podcast.